Another contract that, or a contract extension that Sweeney has given out was to Jeremy Swayman most recently. Obviously, that was a huge thing for the Bruins this year, or this offseason, was paying Jeremy Swayman, him holding out all of training camp and not signing his deal until literally the day of their first game against the Florida Panthers. I get it for Swayman. He wants his money. I have no issues with him wanting that money. I know a lot of Bruins fans have been very hypercritical of Swayman considering he hasn't been playing well. And I get it. And I think a reason as to why it's been that way is because Swayman did not play all of training camp. He kind of just went into the season cold. I'm sure he was, practicing, but just not with the Bruins. So he hasn't really had, I guess, per se, he hasn't had an NHL training camp because he was been holding out the entire time. So he went into the season cold, and we're kind of seeing it. Yes, Jeremy Swayman hasn't been playing up to that contract, but I don't think he has played as bad. And yes, I know a lot of Bruins fans have also been saying, oh, we chose the wrong goalie, this, that. That's just far from true. 32 of all 32 GMs would make the same decision, giving up Ullmark and keeping Jeremy Swayman. I mean, the dude outplayed a Vezina winner as a 25-year-old goalie. What he did in the playoffs last year, especially against the Maple Leafs, he was the reason why we won that series, or the Bruins won that series. So saying that he is not worth that contract and the Bruins chose the wrong goalie is utter fucking bullshit. Shut up, and it's just not true. I understand he's not doing great right now, but it's just 2020 vision with a lot of people. Yes, yes, it does suck right now considering Swayman hasn't been playing too well, and Ullmark has been playing very great with the Senators right now, but it's a move we needed to make. And also the trade, a lot of people have also been, shitting on the trade back for Ullmark. I know a lot of people, especially at the rumors of the beginning, when Ullmark was going dealt, it was like, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for Ullmark. I don't think that was going to happen in a million years. Also, discussions about a lottery pick and things like that. It could have happened, but I think just a lot of GMs were kind of just playing the waiting game because they knew that the Bruins needed to deal him just for value's sake and just for contract's sake because they didn't want to pay two goalies. Swayman's getting paid 8.5, I believe. Ullmark right now, his cap pay is at $5 million. So they don't want to pay two goalies $13 million or whatever like that, or something like that. So it makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I think the return was fine for the Bruins. Korpisalo, as much as a lot of people have been criticizing him, he has played solid for a backup goalie right now. Sure, he hasn't been anything great, but considering that's the goalie we got, and considering the dude was at one point waived, or I think he was bought out, waived, something like that, by the Senators originally, and the, I guess, goaltending performances we got from him right now, he's just been fine. I don't think he's been anything exceptional, anything great, but, he hasn't been awful for the Bruins, I guess. And then we also got Marcus Stellick, who we actually extended, and I think he's been a great player for the Bruins, just as a fourth line checking player. I'm going to get into him a little bit later, but nonetheless, it was a fine trade for what happened, and honestly, it was a deal that the Bruins needed to make. I guess just overall, I guess Swayman isn't really the reason why the Bruins suck right now. Sure, he hasn't been helping, but it's the play from both an offensive and defensive perspective that has really been the reason why the Bruins have sucked.